Hello and welcome to Unit 3 of Policies and Procedures, Administrators and Parents. Now, last week we were focusing on learning about the state requirements and local requirements for licensing of a child care center. Now, this week you're going to be taking that knowledge and exploring websites of child care centers. You're going to be looking to see what criteria they are sharing with the families within the website. Are there aspects that you feel they should be including? Are there ones that they're speaking about too much and neglecting to tell us about other aspects? Do they tell you about the schedule? Are they discussing their discipline policies? What are the criteria that they share? So you can start preparing yourself for our next assignment within Unit 4. Prior to that, you will be creating a checklist. The checklist is aspects you would expect to see when you do a walkthrough visit of the child care centers next week. Things such as the ratios. Are things clearly stated? Do you see the licenses posted clearly? What are some of the curriculum aspects that are shared with families? Are there things posted on the walls? Is it a secured building? What is the criteria for pickup and drop off? All these aspects that are discussed in our state regulations from last week are things you should be including on this checklist and things that when you do your walkthrough you should be seeing. Then within the second part, you will be asking the administrator questions, getting to know what it's like to be an administrator. Getting to know the policies and procedures is one part of it, but how to relate with the staff and create problem-solving techniques within the center, not only within staff, but within parent issues as well. Knowing how to approach different problems is a vital aspect for administrators. And this will be a time for you to be able to ask those questions and get a different person's perspective and see how they've dealt with it and how you would be able to create your way of dealing with a negative situation and turning it positive. Now, why are we going to do center tours? Because you need to get comfortable within the environment. You need to learn how to show your center and discuss your center. And what better way than to change it up a little bit and be the parent and take a tour as a parent would and see if they're answering all the questions you would have and what types of information are they not sharing with you, or are they sharing too much information? Is it a chat session, or is it an informative time to get to know the center and get comfortable with them to ensure that this is the program right for their child? And you need to know these aspects because as an administrator, you're going to be conducting tours, you're going to be interviewing with parents, you're going to be interviewing with staff. And if you're not aware of how to hold a tour and conduct a tour and inform them of what makes the center so special, then you're not going to maintain your clientele. So one of the best ways that I have found is to actually go on your own tours. And then later on, we will explore other avenues to help you get through giving a tour, knowing what to include in a tour, and how to work through those initial meetings with parents to make it a positive experience for all involved. And then the administration aspect of it, the questionnaire. Getting all those questions answered is something that many are afraid to do. You need to be able to take the initiative and say, hey, what do you do when a staff shows up under the influence? Or if a parent is constantly delinquent, how do you tend to a parent who's not taking the responsibility? What is the limit for you as to calling, child services in or reporting other issues? How do you handle the stress of inspectors coming in? What protocol do you have lined up for staff to maintain policies and procedures? There's a slew of questions that all new administrators have. So now is the time for you to comprise a list of these questions and discuss them with another administrator to get to know what's going on and the ins and outs. Learning about not just the state licensing aspects, but the accreditation processes. Are they accredited? Why did they choose it? Why didn't they choose to if they're not accredited? Learning about it, getting the key information so that you can better inform parents and better inform your staff, so that way it is a more productive environment for all. So, as I said, within this week, you are going to be able to look through and recognize state licensing policies and procedures as you navigate through the websites to obtain information on child care centers. Then you're going to be able to critique state licensing requirements and accreditation expectation administrators need to incorporate and maintain within their child care center. Then you will be working on knowing the knowledgeable key information that you're required to inform parents on, both your prospective and your enrolled parents. Things such as the discipline policy. Is it clearly discussed with families prior to enrollment? And as they are enrolled, is it maintained and discussed regularly? Simple things like that, or renewing of the contracts, the importance of maintaining paperwork and documentations and appropriate contact information. All vital information that you need to make sure that you inform your parents of. And finally, you're going to need to comprehend the difference between licensing and accreditation, as well as both agencies' criteria for administrators that you're expected to uphold. Why do you need to have a curriculum? Why do you need to maintain your ratios? Is there a difference between state ratios and licensing for accreditation, ratios? For some there is, for some there is not. Okay. State requires a certain educational level where accreditation requires a different level. How do you find the balance? How do you maintain it? So these are aspects you're going to have to comprehend and explore and learn about, because next week we will be going out on a tour and you will be getting to explore the centers and utilize your questionnaire and your checklist to see how the centers are maintaining state and local licensing. So be critical, look at the details, get all the information down that you need, and remember, as it says in the discussion board and within the assignment, please submit your first responses to me with your questions and your checklist for me to review, and I will clearly let you know, are you on target? Should you get more detailed? Are you too detailed? You want to be prepared for it, because as the role of administrator, you need to know these facts. And the only way you're going to know it is to prepare yourself in advance and to be able to discuss with others and not be leery of asking those questions and finding the answers. Sure, with technology the way it is today, you can Google almost anything, but it is very different to be able to find and connect with other administrators and create more of a mentorship program aspects of it and getting comfortable and confident in your skills as a new administrator. So take this time now to get those questions answered and to learn how to jump over those hurdles and learn how to depend more upon yourself and your own intuition and your own knowledge of the state licensing requirements to make sure you are providing the best environment for the children. So as I said, we're going to be exploring deeper into the relationships of parents and administrators and how to maintain, a positive relationship and inform them of the vital information they need to ensure the safety and well-being of their children. So get ready, get busy, because next week we take it on the road and you start exploring. Have fun.